Hello and welcome. It is my pleasure to welcome all students of Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey. We're delighted to have you. If you're pursuing a career in hospitality, you already know that success is about so much more than just great service. It's about building a strong, sustainable business. And today, we're diving deep into a critical part of that foundation, the art and the science of restaurant finance. This quote really gets to the very heart of modern hospitality management. Think about it. Your guests, they only see the beautifully presented wine list, but the survival, the long-term success of that restaurant, that depends entirely on you, the manager, understanding the spreadsheet that's running behind the scenes. True leadership in this industry means mastering both. So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start by looking beyond the dining room. Then we'll dive into mastering your biggest expenses, what we call prime costs. After that, we'll explore how to boost guest revenue, engineer your menu for maximum profit, and finally, we'll talk about how a manager pulls it all together. Okay, let's kick things off with a fundamental truth of our business. What the guest experience is. The seamless service, the amazing food, the perfect ambience. That's really only half the story. All that magic that happens out in the dining room is powered by incredibly meticulous financial management happening behind the scenes. And it really is a delicate balance, isn't it? The artistry of service, that's what creates the value and the memories for your guests. But the science of finance, that's what protects that value. In high-end dining especially, the margins can be razor thin. So it's absolutely crucial to remember this. Every single dollar you save on costs goes directly to your bottom line. It's what funds the very excellence that keeps your guests coming back. So where do we even begin with controlling costs? Well, you always start with the biggest piece of the pie, your prime costs. These are, hands down, the two largest and most volatile expenses you will ever have to manage in a restaurant. So what are prime costs exactly? It's actually pretty simple. It's the total sum of what you spend on all your food and beverages, plus everything you spend on labor. If you can get a firm handle on these two things, believe me, you are well on your way to running a very healthy, very profitable operation. I like to think of managing prime costs like fighting a battle on two fronts. On one side, you have your physical inventory, all your food and drinks. That demands rigorous, constant control. And on the other side, you've got your most valuable and most expensive resource, your people. Managing that requires smart, data-driven scheduling to match your service needs perfectly. Now for your inventory. The absolute gold standard is FIFO. First in, first out. It sounds simple, right? But discipline here is everything. Every time new stock comes in, it always goes behind the old stock. This systematic rotation ensures you're always using up the oldest product first, which drastically, and I mean drastically, reduces the money you literally throw in the trash due to spoilage. Spoilage is the obvious kind of waste, but the hidden waste, that can be just as damaging. You gotta ask the tough questions. Is that expensive microgreen garnish always coming back on the plate? That's money you're throwing away. Is a server consistently overpouring the wine? That's pure profit draining out of the bottle. Even standardizing something as simple as butter portions can save thousands of dollars over a year. It all comes down to paying attention to the detail. Okay, we've talked a lot about saving money. Now let's flip the coin and talk about making more money. The goal here is never to be pushy. It's about strategically and artfully increasing what each guest spends, while at the same time actually enhancing their experience. And there are two key techniques you need to master here. First is suggestive selling. That's where you guide a guest to something fantastic they hadn't even considered, like a signature appetizer that perfectly pairs with their wine. Then there's upselling. That's about elevating a choice they've already made, maybe offering a premium artisanal gin for their G&T. Both of these are subtle arts that require deep menu knowledge and, most importantly, the ability to read your guest. And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you do it without being salesy? Well, the answer lies in genuine expertise and a relentless focus on the guest's enjoyment. When a server truly believes that a recommendation is going to make the meal better, it doesn't come across as a sales pitch. It comes across as expert advice. It's all about building that trust. And please, never underestimate the power of your beverage program. Drinks almost always carry higher profit margins than food. Training your team to expertly describe a wine pairing, to know the absolute perfect moment to offer another round, or to suggest a fantastic after-dinner digestive, that is one of the fastest and most effective ways to grow your revenue.
All right, let's talk about what might be your single most powerful tool for profitability. And it's sitting right there on every table. It's your menu. A menu isn't just a list of dishes, it's a strategic marketing document. Through something called menu engineering, we use data to make sure every single item is working as hard as it possibly can for the business. So let's meet the main players on your menu. First, you've got your stars. These are your winners. They're popular and they're highly profitable. You feature them, put them right where the guest's eye naturally falls. Then you have plow horses. Everyone loves them, but they have low profit margins. Here, your job is to figure out how to make them more cost-effective. And finally, you've got the puzzles. These dishes are super profitable, but for some reason, they just don't sell well. These are your hidden gems that need a better description or a strong recommendation from your team.
So we have cost control on one side, and we have revenue growth on the other. What's the final piece of this puzzle? Well, it's you, the manager. Your job is to weave all of these threads together, using data, fostering a strong team culture, and providing clear, decisive leadership. The great thing is, in today's world, you don't have to guess about any of this. Modern point-of-sale, or POS systems, give you a real-time dashboard of your entire operation. You can see sales trends as they happen, check your labor percentage at a glance, and even identify your top-performing staff. This data empowers you to stop guessing and start making strategic decisions that have an immediate positive impact. But data can only take you so far. The absolute best managers I've ever worked with, they build what I call a culture of ownership. When every single team member, from the dishwasher to the lead server, feels personally invested in the restaurant's success, they start thinking like owners. And when that happens, they naturally start finding ways to reduce waste, to improve service, and to protect the bottom line. And that, right there, is the ultimate goal. Achieving that perfect balance. Creating a business where an incredible passion for hospitality and guest experiences is supported and sustained by a rigorous discipline for business. Because in the long run, one simply cannot survive without the other. So, as we close, I want to leave you with a question to really think about. As you move forward in your career, which side of this coin offers your biggest opportunity for personal growth? Is it the meticulous science of cost control, or is it the creative art of revenue generation? Because true, effective leadership in this industry lies in mastering both.